Haha, your girl. So Dogon's favorite, Ice Spice.
What?
Uh I joke. But Dogon's favorite, Ice Spice. A bit of music news here. Interesting stuff. Apparently, she's lost 25 million monthly Spotify listeners over the course of the last year. Um, Someone who is more acquainted with how streaming numbers translate to dollars and stuff can inform me on what that actually means. That sounds like a lot, but I don't exactly fully understand the ecosystem of streaming, so I don't know if that's a big number or not. But 25 million seems like a lot. But this person, I hear about her a lot. I see her in commercials. She's in the Super Bowl booth with Taylor Swift. Apparently, this chick is really popular, even though I couldn't tell you the name of one of her songs. Albeit I know who she is. Apparently, has lost 25 million monthly Spotify listeners in a year. So this says Ice Spice had a meteoric rise to fame with her song Munch, which dropped back in 2022. Subsequently, she got co-signs from industry titans including Drake, Nicki Minaj, and even Taylor Swift. This led to some massive features and placements in pop culture staples like the Barbie movie. Now, however, things have shifted as fans are looking forward to Spice's debut album Y2K. Leading up to this album, the artist has been hit with criticism over the lead singles Think You the Shit Fart and Gimme a Light. For some, these singles simply do not match the quality of her late 2022 and early 2023 output. The new album is set to arrive on July 26th, and fans are eager to see how it all plays out. Unfortunately, some are noticing a worrying trend when it comes to the New York artist and her listenership. In the tweet below, it was revealed that since June of last year, Ice Spice has lost a grand total of 25 million monthly Spotify listeners. This time last year, the artist was at 40 million, but now she is just a few 100,000 listeners away from 16 million. Of course, the most obvious explanation for this would be the fact that she hasn't put out a project in quite some time. Many artists see declines in their listenership between album cycles. On the flip side of this, Spice does have two singles out, which some feel is a cause for concern. Whatever the case may be, Y2K could prove to be a make or break moment for the artist. Only time will tell whether or not she delivers. So, this viral person who I don't know, based on what I see on the internet, she's more famous for her skin tone and her big ass. That's what I'm seeing. Any video that I see of her is because she's shaking her ass in a video. So maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, that's what she's most well known for. But apparently, she makes music, and I'm being
Mhm.
sarcastic here. I know she makes music, but also I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And apparently, she's lost 25 million listeners monthly, down to 16 million. So, what do you make of this situation? Is this just a normal thing because she's in between album cycles, allegedly, or is this something else? Is this a sign of something else with her?
I think this is just the signs of something else, and the signs of the times that we're dealing with these newer industry plants that we're getting. And I think they're being treated more like 5 cent gum back in the day from the ice cream truck. You know, hella flavorful in the first 30 seconds, but after about a minute and a half, it just turns into hard concrete. And you're questioning why you're still chewing on it 5 minutes later. Like, what is this? And then you just end up spitting it out. You know, so you don't go grab that old piece of chewed up gum back. You just go find the next piece of flavorful gum. So Ice Spice Run has already seemed to have ended. That's a steep drop off. I don't care who you are or what you're pumping. 25 million per month. That's a pretty large drop off, and I think that drop off is just due to fatigue of everyone just knowing what the hell she is at this point. as you mentioned, just a walking, shaking ass that's light skinned. And what is her claim to fame? Fecal matter bars. That's pretty much the only thing that I'm aware that she does. I didn't even know she rapped. Once I heard she rapped, I was like, well, what does she rap about? And then I heard her stuff and I was like, well, this isn't very creative at all. So why do people like this? And outside of corporate backing, because let's be real. So her rapping ability got the cosigns of Drake, Taylor Swift. Who else they named? Like what was it about her
Nicki
that
Minaj is another
Nicki
one.
Minaj? What made them coin her the next up? What did she do?
I don't know.
So, besides her being an industry plant, so this is how they normally deal with industry plants. But my thing is the game has just gotten lazy, bro. And they used to do a lot more effort with these things. Now they just roll people out and just make them show up places, I guess. So you'll see her at Coachella. Why? You'll see her at whatever. Wasn't she at or was that Sexy Red at Summer Jam? They just have them just
She
show up
may
at.
she may have been there. I know Sexy Red was there, but she may
Yeah,
have
she
been
probably
there.
was there, and they just have them show up at these places, like we care. I saw one of her performances. She has zero stage presence. She has nothing. So I kind of feel sad for her. She's really just getting paraded around, and you could tell she's already doing those backdoor scandalous things that we hear that Cassie and them doing. Yeah, so it was like this. We know what she did to get in this position. She knows what's up, you know. So this is a strange situation. So all in all, industry plants need to go away, but they're still going to come out. They're still going to be popular. I thought we were done with this. I thought the people were smart enough to pick up on this stuff. And I think at least for the Ice Spice situation now, I think they picked up on how talentless she is. But initially, man, people was in that wave, and I know dudes was just going crazy about her assets. And what are we doing right now? So yeah, I'm not surprised here. I'm celebrating this. Because the game needs these people to go away. So for the people not to be listening to it, I'm here for it. But what are your thoughts on Ice Spice losing 25 million Spotify listeners a month? What's going on?
The optimistic side of me wants to say that this is due to people coming to the realization that enough is enough, and we demand that we be given the privilege of listening to artists who provide quality and substance. The cynical part of me says that that number is going to shoot back up once she
No.
once she once she puts out whatever she's going to put out. Um, and I think the cynical part of me is the right one. I don't know. I've seen enough at this point. I've seen too many of these artists who, to me, she's more of a celebrity personality than a music artist. I don't know any of her songs. And I don't think that's because I'm far removed from current music. I think that's because her music isn't really impactful. I think the combination of her social media persona with her music is what makes her impactful. But you need both of them in order for her to be relevant. One without the other isn't enough. Her music can't stand on its own, and her sex appeal can't stand on its own. So you have to combine both of them. And when you combine both of them, you get this bastardized amalgamation of something parading around as a music artist. Like a barometer for me in terms of an artist, quote unquote, that I should ignore is whether I know her more for non-music stuff than music stuff. And she's one of these people whom I know more for non-music stuff than music stuff. Anytime I see her pop up, it's for something else. Her being in the booth at the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift, or this article talking about her streams dropping. Or remember when we talked about Nikki D and how she basically blasted her live performance because it was basically just prostitution rap, which it is. Like, this is what she is to me. Like, she's just a Barbie doll in real life, and she twerks in her videos, and that's what she's known for. And don't get me wrong, as a red-blooded male American, um, I like twerking just as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that ain't, it's not a talent. Like,
Oh,
that's not a talent.
no.
Um, but whenever I see her in any of her videos, if I'm on World Star, anytime an Ice Spice video pops up, it's like Ice Spice said this and she started shaking them yams. Or Ice Spice did this and Ice Spice did this and she twerking. Ice Spice, you know what I'm saying? There was a video where she was in New York and she was up, that, like, the car that she was in, the truck that she was in, she was like, she had she was over the sunroof of the truck and she was on top of the car twerking, and the video went semi-viral just because she was like twerking on top of a truck. Do not sell that to me as an artist. Don't do that. Like, that to me is insulting. And that's what we got going on. Like, you're selling this to me as her being a legitimate artist. And then you're going to try and force feed her bad music and you're going to try to masquerade that as actual music. I'm not buying it. But the reason why this is able to continue is because the general standard, in my opinion, of this music from a quality standpoint has deteriorated precipitously to the point where there is almost no standard. It's just all about what's going to get you the clicks and what's going to go viral, what's going to get the likes and the comments, what's going to get your platform buzzing. And so they parade her around as this whatever she is, because the idea isn't for her. The idea isn't to prop her music up. The idea is to prop up her presence as somebody who looks the way she looks and basically is a glorified stripper with a microphone in her hand.
Correct.
And they try to sell it to me as artistry, and I'm not buying it, and I find that incredibly insulting. But it's also one of the reasons why I have separated myself from this music, because you're trying to Jedi mind trick me. You're trying to sell me, like, stripper anthems and strippers themselves as music, and I'm not buying it. But I think everyone else buys it. I think the community at large buys it. And that's why I'm cynically saying she'll be back up once she drops more music or does something else to go viral. All she has to do is, perform at a show with no clothes on, and she'll be right back up there. I guarantee it. Like, that's all she needs to do, because that's all the people demand, because the audience has been dumbed down. The industry realized that we can sell you this and dumb it down. They stepped on it. It's blue magic. They stepped on it. Used to be 100% grade A quality stuff, and now they've just stepped on it. They mixed it with, baby powder, baking soda, all kind of other stuff. They put it in the Pyrex. Out comes this thing that they can sell for the same amount of money, even though it's not as good of a quality, and everybody's buying it. If everybody continues to buy it, who are we to stop making it? So if you want them to stop making it, stop buying it. But the community, the population in my community, I mean the hip hop listening community, continues to buy it. So who's the fool? Ice Spice in the industry, or the people who keep buying it?
Well, and last thing I'll say is, and I agree with that, but last thing I'll say is that, I really do think that people are, because I've seen enough stuff out there, at least social media wise, where people were, just calling her in a question, because of those new songs that they did mention in the article, they did come out and they weren't hitting. And then people were critiquing the song, which was throwing me off, because I was like, why do y'all, what are y'all critiquing? Like, what do you thought she was going to come out with a hit? You thought she was going to come out with bars? Like, what do you thought what she was going to do? This girl has zero personality. She, like you said, bro, they parade her around. She just shows up places. And then whenever you see her, she's just standing there motionless. She raps emotionless on stage, but then she turns around to make sure to shake her behind and then go back to rapping emotionlessly, and then turn back around and start twerking again. So yeah, I mean, she knows what her gets her paid. Uh, and that's my thing with this. Like, this is such a lazy pick. This is kind of like this is kind of like shout out to Trey Lance, man. But this is like a Trey Lance situation where you just you draft an archetype of a person, and then you just said, I'm gonna make it work. And what they did was, there's an archetype of a person here who doesn't really act like a real person at all. She just acts like a drone. Like, honestly never really even heard her talk. So every time I see her, she just stands around. Now, I've heard her music, because TikTok gonna make you do that. But even then, I was like, well, why do people like this? So I think there's enough of people asking questions like that, and I think the community at large is becoming more aware of industry plans. And this girl ain't nothing but a cash grab, and they paid big time money for this girl. For all of the places that we are seeing her, she had a Super Bowl with Taylor Swift. She over here doing this. She over there doing that. Like, who is she? Dunkin' Donuts commercials. Like, who are you to be doing this? You know what I'm saying? With Ben Affleck, was that Ben Affleck? Well, who's she doing? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, who's paying for this? So this girl didn't make no meteoric rise because she came out with a anthem and labels picked her up. No, labels paid her, and they pumped that hit out for the streets. So they tried to pump out more stuff, and it's not hitting right now. It's hitting like that chewing gum because people don't want that anymore. So I think that this fall off is a reflection of this. Hopefully, I do believe in the people, and I believe in the resistance against creatures like this. So, shouts out to the people, man. Keep driving down those monthly listeners, but make sure you guys subscribe over here, though.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
I'm staying
the
optimistic.
the optimistic side of me hopes you're right, but the cynical side of me says, I don't know. But we'll see. I hope you're right. I hope that is the case. I'm not wishing ill upon her career, but there needs to be a standard for, like, there needs to be a standard for something. It can't just be that you are a light skinned, curly haired twerker, and that's all you need to be in order to
All you
be
need to be.
successful as a
Hey,
hip hop star.
light
Like,
skins, take note.
yeah,
Take note. Light skins, just start shaking your behind in front of the camera and say you're a rapper. I guarantee you're gonna get a deal.
boy, oh boy, it's crazy, man, crazy.